after Jungkook's latest photo shoot with Calvin Klein, CK, was released. But wait a minute, this is not an ordinary photo shoot. Jungkook's style, expression, even the way he stood in front of the camera instantly caused a chain reaction among America's top models and photographers. They said, "He's not just the face of the brand, he created a new visual language." But how can one photo shoot thrill the world of models who are already used to seeing everything? This is where the story begins to get interesting. We're not just talking about a Korean idol who becomes CK's global ambassador, but about a major shift in the way the American fashion industry views Asian icons. And it all started with a set of photos with seemingly simple black and white nuances, but kept a cultural explosion behind them. Since CK released the visual on its official page, the virtual universe immediately thundered. Comments from top models such as Lucky Blue Smith and Gigi Hadid appeared in the feed, with some calling Jungkook the most camera-aware face of the decade. Fashion photographers write long analyses on professional forums. They dissect hand gestures, the direction of gaze, even the lighting used in the photo shoot. There is something inexplicable. He is not posing, he is living in the frame, wrote one of the senior photographers on the Vogue US community board. But before we get into what makes Jungkook capable of leaving American models speechless in awe, let's step back a little and look at the context. CK has long been known as a bold, masculine and urban fashion house. But in the past 5 years, the brand has experienced an image crisis. Sales slowed down. A young audience began to move to streetwear brands, and the charm of Calvin Klein underwear felt like a nostalgic stay of the 90 seconds. Then came Jungkook. Young face, clean image, but with a mysterious aura that pop stars rarely have. When he was first announced as CK's global ambassador, the American fashion world was split in two. Some were skeptical, BTS fans strong enough to change the American market, and some are enthusiastic. CK needs a figure like this to be reborn. 2 years later, all that skepticism was gone. His latest photo shoot is not just proof of his continuing contract, but a statement that CK2 is starting, and Jungkook is the face of his revolution. Interestingly, the most powerful reaction came precisely from the model world itself. They not only admire the results, but feel challenged. He brings back the meaning of effortless sensuality, says one veteran American model. That's something that's been missing in the modeling world. People who can radiate intensity without seeming to be trying. From those comments, a big discussion was born about how Jungkook managed to break the old formula of American modeling. And this is where we're going to dive into 3 big chapters that describe the Jungkook effect in the American model world. How he changed the way they see the body, the camera, and even the concept of coolness itself. Prepare yourself, because this is not just a story about photos. It's about how one pop star shifted the visual foundations of the American fashion industry from the inside. If you look closely at Jungkook's recent photos for Calvin Klein, something immediately feels different. Not from his clothes, not from his lighting, but from the way he presents himself on camera. Many American models spend years learning how to look natural while posing. But Jungkook does exactly the opposite. He doesn't pose at all. He lives in the frame, like an actor in a movie who happens to be photographed in the middle of a scene. This is no coincidence. According to data from CK's creative team, Jungkook is not the type of model who comes up with one standard expression. It brings narrative emotion in every shot. In the last photo shoot that took place in Los Angeles in October, he even asked for the lights to be rearranged 3 times so that the lighting can breathe with his facial expressions. American photographer Mert Alas, who has photographed many big names like Madonna and Bella Hadid, went so far as to say in an interview, he has a camera instinct that is strangely like a Hollywood veteran. He knows when the light hits his skin, when to be still, and when to let time stop. In America, such a concept is called living stillness, where the subject of the photo does not move, but the atmosphere around him changes noticeably due to his presence. Jungkook managed to do without theory, without training in a modeling school, without technical coercion. He transmits stories through sight, Vogue Runway wrote. Even some American models began to imitate his style. A deep but not sharp gaze, a half-relaxed but balanced body pose, and the way his hands hang like he is talking quietly to the camera. Behind the scenes, CK's styling team revealed that Jungkook has a unique habit. He always plays a certain playlist before the shoot starts. The songs are not BTS songs, but rather film noir music and instrumentals. He creates his own atmosphere. That's what makes the picture feel cinematic, said one of the set assistants. From there, one interesting discussion arose in the American model community. Will modeling of the future lead to emotive storytelling? The answer? It may have started happening, and Jungkook unknowingly became the pioneer. Because for many models, he is not just a good face. He's a visual storyteller who makes the camera an honest mirror of himself. When the American modeling world saw the results of this photo shoot, they agreed that there was something they had never seen before. The fusion of stillness and soul. Jungkook comes from a very different cultural background to the typical American model where body expressions are often harsh, confrontational, and full of attitude. While Jungkook, with his Korean style that tends to be reflective and subtle, it combines two worlds that have been considered opposite. In one photo, he can look at the camera gently, but the masculine aura that appears is not mushy, it feels stronger because it is controlled. American photographers refer to this style as controlled magnetism. And interestingly, it became the main topic among modeling professionals after CK's photo shoot was released. On the Fashion Spot forum, there is a thread titled "The Jungkook Effect. Is Emotional Control the New Sexy?" with hundreds of comments from America's top models and photographers. They discuss how Jungkook introduces a new version of sensuality, one that is not explicit, but captivates through silent intensity. Meanwhile, in the editorial fashion world, this style began to be adopted. Harper's Bazaar US is launching a new masculinity edition, featuring male models with similar concepts. Reflective gaze, soft lighting, and minimalist gestures. Jungkook made the modeling world rethink what it means to look attractive. WWD, Women's Wear Daily, wrote. And this is not only a matter of visual culture, but also a shift in the direction of the fashion economy itself. After Jungkook's campaign was released, CK's online sales in America increased by almost 18% in 3 weeks. But more interestingly, the analytics data show that this increase is greatest in the Gen Z male segment, a group that has been difficult for fashion brands to touch. Many of them see Jungkook not as a model, but a stylish friend. And that's where the power is. The expressive American style has now found its balance with Korean subtlety, and as a result, the modeling world has begun to speak a new language, subtle cool. One of the most interesting effects of the Jungkook x CK shoot is not just a matter of popularity, but how the American model community actually learns about it. At some modeling schools, such as Ford Models Academy in New York, instructors even began to show Jungkook photos as an example of the study of modern expressions. "Look at his eyes," said one of the coaches. "It's not a dominant gaze, but an understanding gaze." In the competitive modeling world, this kind of ability is rare. Typically, models are taught to attack the camera, not communicate with it. But Jungkook changed that mindset. It displays the human side without losing visual power. Several young American models claimed to have started watching videos of Jungkook's photo shoots to learn how he moves in front of the camera. Even on the TikTok platform, there is a new trend called Number Jungkook Pose Challenge, where young models try to imitate Jungkook's sitting style, hand gestures, and gaze direction in the CK campaign. But of course, not everything can be replicated, because what makes Jungkook unique is not just the pose, but the energy behind it, a mix of stillness, confidence, and a bit of mystery that's hard to fake. "You can copy her style, but not her aura," said one of the America's Next Top Model alumni judges. This proves something bigger. The modeling world is no longer about technique, but about authenticity. And Jungkook, unknowingly, took that lesson to the heart of American industry. He showed that the best model is not the one that moves the most, but the one that can make time stop the most. And when the camera catches him, the world is staring. After the Calvin Klein photo shoot aired, many fashion journalists in America initially wrote reviews as usual, praising the styling, detailing the tone of the photo, or discussing the direction of CK's new visual concept. But in a matter of days, the tone of the discussion changed. "We're not talking about a model here," Vanity Fair wrote. "We're talking about a cultural phenomenon disguised as a photo shoot." That sentence sparked a massive discussion because, frankly, America has never seen anything like it. Korean pop stars appear in classic American underwear ads, and instead of feeling foreign, they feel authentic. No distance, no exoticism, no imposed cultural differences. Jungkook makes it all feel natural. Fashion watchers call it cultural neutralizer. He has the ability to blend in with the Western visual system without losing his identity. In the world of American fashion, this kind of ability is extraordinarily rare, because most international models are often seen trying to fit in. But Jungkook, he's not trying at all. And that is precisely what makes it fully accepted. In CK's shots, every element of his body, from the way he bowed his head to the tension in his arm, muscles conveys a small narrative that anyone can accept, whether in New York, Seoul, or Paris. Even the New York Times Style Desk wrote a lengthy analysis titled, "Jungkook doesn't model clothes, he models confidence." In it, they pass how Jungkook projects confidence that is not arrogant, a quality that rarely appears in this imaging-filled digital age. It radiates calmness, not aggression, charisma, not dominance. And as a result, the American fashion world began to see a redefinition of masculinity. It is no longer about the big body or the piercing gaze, but about the self-awareness and sincerity of the energy that comes out from within. The stylists in Los Angeles started using a new term, the Jungkook calm. This term refers to a neutral but strong style of expression, elegant but without effort. In many of CK's post-shoot editorials, this style began to dominate the mood board. Soft monochrome colors, natural poses, minimal expression, and highlights on the inner gaze. Meaning, the American fashion world has already recognized Jungkook is not just a frame filler, but a new center of gravity that changes the direction of the industry. For Calvin Klein, Jungkook's latest photo shoot is not just a promotional project, but a social experiment on an international scale. They wanted to know how powerful the authentic charisma effect is in the age of digital fatigue, and the results were amazing. In less than a week after the campaign's release, CK engagement in America rose more than 400%. But it's not just the numbers that surprise CK executives. Even more interesting is the demographics. More than half of their new audience were not fans of K-pop before. This means that Jungkook's appeal transcends the boundaries of fandom. At this point, many business watchers began to realize that Jungkook was no longer just a brand ambassador, he was a strategic catalyst. CK used its appeal to test a new communication model called emotive global branding, where visual messages are driven not by a desire to sell a product, but by an authentic emotional experience. Jungkook unknowingly became his embodiment. Behind the scenes, CK's marketing team even admitted that they adjusted the entire campaign rhythm to follow Jungkook's social media engagement pattern. They monitor when she's most talked about on Twitter, when fans are most active on TikTok, and then design post timings to fit perfectly. And the result? Every time a new photo of Jungkook appears, CK's site traffic jumps by an average of 300%. But it's not just numbers that are interesting. The American fashion world learned something from this, that a star with an emotional presence like Jungkook could be the foundation for a global campaign that doesn't feel artificial. He's the bridge between aspiration and reality, says one brand consultant in New York. She makes Calvin Klein feel more human. If in the past, CK was known for bold and provocative sensuality, now they are building emotional relevance. And Jungkook is a symbol of that shift. In the competitive fashion industry, this is a new form of power, influence that does not come from loud noises, but from meaningful silence. So it's no wonder that now, American models, photographers, and creatives behind big brands are starting to refer to this phenomenon in simple but meaningful terms, the Jungkook shift. A phase where one face, one look, could shake up the visual language of the American fashion world without saying a word.